am I looking at? It looks like Godzilla's back. I don't. CJ, what are some signals to look for when performing technical analysis? Because I see like 80 different spikes there, and I do not know what I'm looking at. It looks like Godzilla's back. I don't. Please explain.
Yeah, let's start from circle one or square
circles.
one.
They're circles.
Yeah. So we're looking at a price chart of Bitcoin right here. The price is represented by these green candles and red candles. And this is over a few month span. So this started earlier back here in May, this area where I'm highlighting right now. The first aspect of technical analysis that I think is important to understand, that's incredibly simple concept, is just support and resistance levels. So you'll see these pink lines here on the chart. When price is above that, and when it hits that level a few different times, it creates what is known as support, which means price is then more likely to bounce from that level if it's tested again in the future. So for example, this was a support level right here that price hit. And you go through the trend. Obviously, it did not hold up as support here because there were a couple external events that occurred. But as you can see, this support level, goes throughout time and is very critical for the overall trend. You can see, price fell down very recently, but formed support at that level. Now that's the first concept. The second concept is the same thing. It's like two directions of a road. It's support and resistance. Support is when you have a critical level like this and it's below price. So when it comes down, it creates support. However, when that level is above price, it's considered resistance. So another thing that's kind of important to understand is that a support level is a resistance level. It just matters where price is in relation to the two. So for instance, this was a support level back during March and the spring season. However, once price fell below it, that same level was then tested in the future and it was rejected right there because it was at a new resistance level.
Okay, I kind of grasp it. So basically, I guess support is denoted by when the candles become red and it goes down. That's when support is indicated, when it's like rebounding to go back up. Kind of.
Yeah, I could probably do a better job of explaining this.
Yes, please.
So, there aren't like lines on the chart to begin with. You draw the lines when you have a level that gets hit several different times.
Okay, now I get what you're saying. So it's like it's almost like thinking of it as a math example. Like, how in I guess statistics, right? You have like a bar graph and stuff, and you'll have kind of different values on your X, and so each one can have more tallies and then others can have like less tallies. So maybe what I'm getting is that that line is set at a point where there's constant like support and resistance, I guess.
Yeah, so like this is a historic aspect of Bitcoin from back in 2017 and 2018. And as you can see here, price hit 6K like multiple times. And so that area ultimately became very good support until it didn't and it fell. But as you can see, price bounced here. It also bounced here and here. So what you can ultimately do there is, you can take a flatline tool and you just draw a support level right like that. And each time price tests that level, you can consider, all right, maybe I should buy some if price is going to bounce from this level.
Okay, now I get it. So it's kind of like the low end average, kind of like it's a safe bet if when you look at you use the number 6K. So since it has hit that low time, well, multiple times, you make your support to where the value of your support line is at 6K, because if it gets to that multiple times, it'll like go back up, right? So
Yes.
it's a safe bet to invest at that support level, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, that took me a little bit. Now I get it. So resistance is more like the high end of that.
Yeah, so let's check out an example of resistance now. If we go a little bit further on down the line. So a good example of resistance would be right here. So, like I said, a horizontal line on the chart where price is hit multiple times, it can be either support or resistance. It just matters in relation to price. So take like 20K, this level right here. We tested that like many different times, and price typically bounces when we hit that level. So for instance, this was resistance on this particular period of time. This was also resistance. Once we broke above it, it actually experienced what is known as role reversal. So it flipped from previous resistance to now new support as price trended, and then we fell back below it, and now it presumably will act as future resistance.
Okay. Now I get it. At first it was a little bit rocky, but now I'm starting to understand.
Yeah, it always helps to have the graphics.
Yes, I'm a visual guy.